welcome back to the channel. You are watching API Explorers. Today we're going to talk a little bit about OpenAI and their Open API source. So this is really cool. Maybe you run an e-commerce store or a Printify store or a Shopify store or something where you take a form submission and create an image to print on merchandise, right? Now, this is really cool because you can take that form submission, call OpenAI to basically create images for you or find images for you, and then use those images in your e-commerce store or on your merchandise. Of course, assuming you have the patents or the authorization to use those. Now, what we're going to do today is to show you how to set that sequence up using a system called Pipedream. Pipedream is a really cool application platform that you can leverage to essentially connect applications and integrate. You'll see that in the description below. I'll be sure to link it. So let's get started. So first off, we're going to find the URL endpoint for the create an image option inside of OpenAI's API documentation. Here we have it. We can see that URL endpoint. I'm going to be leveraging Jotform today because they have a native integration with Pipedream, so I'm easily able to connect my forms to Pipedream and basically tell their system anytime I have a new form submission, go ahead and trigger this automation to happen. Now, we're going to go ahead and copy this, and I've already done some of the sequencing and some of the testing here. So we have our trigger. I have a form built, which is right here, and you can see this form here that is pre-built to basically create a photo. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and create a photo based off of user input. So we've got that API endpoint there, so we're going to go ahead and copy that, and we're going to use a post request or webhook within Pipedream's application. So we're going to paste that URL in here. This is a post. It is imperative to basically pay attention to the headers and what should go in the header. So we have content type, application JSON, and we have authorization, bearer, and your API key. So you'll need to make sure you have those pieces of information readily available so that you can easily go in here and create these photos. They also have some additional requests in the body if you want different sizes of photos, if you want a response format, so maybe a URL, or you just want it to return JSON. Totally up to you and how you do this. A maximum length is 1,000 characters on input, so you might want to put that onto your form so that they don't send you this long story about what kind of image they're wanting to create. So we've already done that, right? We've got the URL, we've got the post request. In our headers, we have all of our information and authentication, and then in our body, we have our request that we're sending, and we've already run one test to see what we get back. So this is really cool because we've sent a test and it's sent us back these URLs. I can now copy these URLs and I can go into and open them. So there is a cute image of an animated dog that is very cool. Right, you can see the photo here. You could also go back and you can look at some of these values, right? So what you choose to do from here is totally up to you. But for this video, to keep it really short and sweet, let's go ahead and have it send an email. This puppy looks a little high if you ask me, but yeah, we'll go ahead and send an email, right? So basically I'll choose my next step in the sequence and we're going to say Gmail. And let's go ahead and not get click happy, but let's go ahead and configure this. So let me do that again because got a little click happy there and started clicking on things and I clicked on something I don't want to click on. So we're going to have this actually send an email. And in the to field here, we'll go ahead and have a, we'll select from our form, right? Because that's submitted with our form. There we go, we got that email. And then you could also give it a subject, right? So here are your photos from, based on, or here are your photos, right? We'll just leave it at that. And then in the email body, we'll go ahead and add that. So you can actually go down to the bottom here and you can essentially say and click on things here. Like we'll say URL 1, URL 2, URL 3, and so forth. All right, and you can see how you can test this, right? So we could say and space this out to create more of not a plain text email, but I might input the person's first name, right? So hi Donald, Here you go. And now we can go ahead and test this. I'm going to get a fail because Donald Duck is not a real email address, so it should bounce. But here we actually got a successful. So Donald Duck at API Explorers just received an email from me. But basically, to kind of show you what this would look like, if we were to go ahead and fill this form out, let's say, let's put a real email address in here, and that is sent. It's created the photos, and now I have an email in my inbox that basically gives me those puppy photos. So if you want to see what that might look like, let me drag this in the screen here, and here are the photos, and they're all clickable, right? So you can go ahead and click those. So really cool way to automate chat, or OpenAI, I should say, to create a workflow or sequence based on form submissions to have it do things like this, right? So it created an image. Maybe I'll send that to Google, have them send me an email back, and then I can go into an action like Shopify or Printify and basically have it create it as a product or put it on a product, right? It's totally up to you and your next step action of what you want to do. But this is a really cool way to generate some easy revenue, create a website that automates this entire process and start generating income as high as, you know, a couple $1,000 a month, depending on how much traffic goes to your website and so forth. Hopefully you found this video useful. You've been watching API Explorers. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.